Hello, what's up, guys? Daiju here. So, as I've been sharing the last few days, I think I stumbled upon a semi competent Prism deck that a lot of people could enjoy. So, after streaming down the list a bit, decided to start recording some gameplay, and here we are. So this Bravo queued into me, right? I did not actually plan this to be the first recorded game, but uh, I just created the game and he decided to join. So as you can see, I did not join a Bravo game, right? I'm not trying to pick on the guy. Maybe he just wanted to see how the match was. So what I did here is my sideboard. I decided to go first because I won the dice roll. I decided to put a maximum amount of yellow auras and then the figments which I think are relevant. I opt to take out any soul shields because this game I feel it's not about sinking damage. Just a few other notes here, right? So I picked the energy potion because again I'm going first, and if I get to have it in my opening hand, great. So shield this out because, as I said, we're not playing really around soaking blocks and things like that. We're playing basically to set a board, and Bravo is playing to contain that board because otherwise we'll for sure win. Now I think this is it, right? In terms of card choices, everything else was pretty standard. So this is my opening hand. It's actually quite poor because we have Tome of Handles, Library, Epods, and many other things which we want to see. However, we see only a single aura and 3 blues. So what I'm debating here really is about having the Genesis in Arsenal or playing it now. Obviously having it in Arsenal is a big plus because then if I draw another aura, I can do a double aura setup and start from there, which is great for us. However, assuming that I already have 3 heralds in my hand and I'm gonna see only one new card, I decide to actually play the Genesis. In this situation, I really care about seeing my tomes, seeing my Arclight Sentinels, and I don't really care if he kills one of my 3 Genesis. I'm thinking a bit if I want to swing because I really don't want a blue herald in my arsenal. However, I also don't want him to mulligan, so I decide to actually save it in the arsenal despite this being a very poor play. Ideally, if this was a blue 0 cost aura, we would also play it this turn, but it is what it is, right? I said the first hand was pretty bad. However, our second hand really compensates for that, and we're seeing the library. This is huge. Anytime you see library in your games, you'll be very happy. Now he does the right thing and actually goes to destroy the Genesis. We're happy because this is 4 damage not in our face, and we get to keep our hand. We also get double yellow with the library, and you will actually see now the power of Mage Master boots. Despite me doing a very scuffed play here, because again, I want to get this blue herald out of my arsenal, I'm actually gonna use the Mage Master just to gain an action after library. And this also helps me to basically have double yellow and immediately leverage the library play. I thought if there is any way to actually play an aura, but that's really not important for us. We want to start abusing the library and see as many cards as possible because it's very key for us, not only in this match but in the deck in general, to see Tome of Divinity and Arc-like Sentinels. I'm doing something here. My expectation is that he's going to pop it with one card, but he doesn't. And by the way, if you see the board state currently, we're just having 0 hours on the board, so we're not gonna landslide here, or avalanche or snowball. Yeah, snowball is the word I was looking for. We're not gonna snowball out of anything, but drawing 5 cards is really fucking impactful. He gives me here the quicken token. I have no clue how he gave it to me, probably with the boots. Some of these Bravo cards are new to me. By the way, just a short stop. So far, I have cycled 3 hours. Usually, this is scary in terms of we don't know when or how we'll get another double hour turn. However, we just have to trust the deck and our ratios there, because um, we really need to go fast and find our tomes and arclight sentinels, because if you find those, then eventually you'll be able to set up the auras anyway. So he here decides to Bravo, and at this point I think the only thing I'm concerned about is Crippling Crush. Although we can salvage a bit of game here if he decides to Crippling Crush. Thankfully for us, it's only Spinal. He probably thinks this is a big turn, but we actually don't give a fuck about this, because we don't have any arrows on board. We don't try to go again with heralds. We really only want to set up. In fact, his only single attack is very beneficial for us, because he gives us the spectral shield to Suraya if we want. So what's next now? Here I'm debating actually if I can somehow manage to plant Suraya on the spectral shield and then use the quicken token. However, I quickly read the cards and I understand that you cannot do this. Quicken is only for attack actions and weapons, and Suraya is neither of them. So I'm still going through my head what's here. Obviously, we want for sure to double pitch able to activate library this turn. And I think I'm trying to play Suraya here, which is a mistake, because we cannot even swing with her because our soul is empty. However, I'm just going here through the motions. I make this, I ask him if I can take it back, because now I realize I don't have soul and I cannot swing back. He says that I can undo, so I do the most straightforward play, double aura and Suraya in Arsenal, and this is it. Now I'm gonna take a bit of time just to explain what's happening here. So this hand which we have here is everything we need to win the game. We have 2 auras on the board, we have a Tome of Divinity, 5-card hand, and something in Arsenal, which really, it does not matter. This is super strong hand, and we can win the game here. The only thing that we are truly concerned about is maybe Crippling Crush. If he Cripplings Crush, this can really mess up our plans. However, for any Bravo that has played this game for a decent amount of time, and this match in the old Prism days, he will do the right thing and he'll go after Shimmering, because Shimmering is a win con in this matchup. Straightforward. Now, I don't know how experienced this Bravo is. I don't know if he has played the match before, but I'm really hoping that he is not gonna Crippling Crush me. If he did CNC Pummel, which is the other Disrupt, as I said, we don't really care about the Arsenal that much, and if he really wants to pummel me, I guess I'll just go into the other round and hope that he doesn't discard my Tome of Divinity. But if he does, then we're gonna double swing Aura, draw 5 again. Actually, we're gonna swing for 12 if he just destroys our Arsenal and pummel, and we're still in a very beneficial position. But as I said, he does the right thing, and he cleans up the simmering, sorry, shimmers of silver. Yeah, he cleans that up. So I am super happy that my hand is not disrupted, and now we're gonna explode. By the way, notice my life totals right now, and I want you to notice the life totals at the end of the game. He is at 40 right now, right? He is at 40. So I'm just quickly debating what exactly to pitch, how to do it, but I think the most straightforward thing here is just Heart of Endo and then Haywood the Erudition. The reason is that I really want to use one blue card to pay for my Tome of Divinity, and that's why the Erudition needs to go in. I'm slightly worried that I might not hit another yellow, but then I quickly calculate that we have close to 40 yellow cards in this deck, and it's really, really difficult to not hit a yellow out of the top 3 cards. In the meantime, I get Figment out because it's extra for life and nice trigger. By the way, I'm gonna spend just a minute on Erudition here before we draw, right? So Erudition is very fine in this, and it's probably the first Figment you should fetch for if you don't have Arclight in your discard pile, because actually on attack trigger, although it's gonna end your combat chain, you're gonna draw 2 cards, and with the amount of instant auras that you have in your deck, you can actually set up and leverage the 2 cards you're gonna draw instead, and you're gonna draw 4 new, so it helps cycle, and as I said, you utilize them, they're not simply stuck in your hand. Now here we draw a really strong follow-up. We see exactly what we want to see. We have a board, we see an Arclight Sentinel. Now there are 2 lines here. One of them is to slap down the Arclight and then pay as many attacks as we can. However, I notice that he has a Surge, and I really want to get the Suraya out of the arsenal. So I end up paying the Suraya, and I decide to keep the Arclight Sentinel in the arsenal because I'm gonna trigger in response to his Surge. Now you see Tome of Endo. I did not get to play it in from Arsenal. I did not get to do anything fancy with it. However, it's a yellow card. It's a yellow card that we're gonna pitch and we're gonna feed our library, which is exactly what we want to do with this deck and on turns like this. Again, I'm slightly thinking here through the lines, and I take the right decision to actually play my Merciful, nothing fancy, just do this, and here I can actually swing if I want to, and I can also I just swing for damage here. Yeah, I just swing for damage. And the reason that I'm not swinging with Suraya right now is that we have one card in our soul. My current thinking is that we always want to have one card in our soul so that we can enable an Arclight recycling. So if we have to, we can do whatever, but with one we just want to go for the Arclight recycle. So we draw an E-pot here, nothing to worry about. Now I'm gonna straight up do an Arclight here because I'm feeling confident in my hand, especially with a Tome of Divinity. I might have actually seen what he does, and depending on he dominates or blocks, I might have kept Arclight for my turn, but at the end of the day, I just decided that this is the safest play, and we get the Arclight out, double pitch blue, he needs to destroy it. He also uses this time to set up a bit, which I think is good for him. He sees a bunch of blues. Now Arclight goes to soul because of Merciful, and I actually opt to refill my hand with Tome because I can replace one Tome for one blue, and I get back to 4 cards in my hand. Again, I'm seeing double yellow, which is great for us. Yeah, I'm just thinking here if I actually want to merciful on this turn because it's going to cost me one card. However, again, I prioritize the library turn, and I'm gonna keep merciful in hand because I really want to swing. Now here we're gonna do a pitch like this, just to make sure that yeah, just to make sure that we pitch our double yellows before doing something crazy. So what continues to happen here is he places some blocks. I'm honestly happy to see the block because he will have to block Suraya. I think this is absolutely a must block card. I decide to use the effect because yeah, we have two cards in soul, and that's all I want to see, really. So let's see what's next. He blocks here. I'm happy to gain one life. Now I have two extra resources, and I decide to flip my erudition to soak for HP because again I'm worried about hand disruption and not that much about him going and killing my effects or angels and things like that. At this point, I just want to quickly go over this. At this point, we have two onboard auras, and if he wants, he can go after them because this is gonna lower our um, damage output. However, these are auras he generally does not care about, so he does not want to go and clean them up. He's, by the way, he showed us a pummel accidentally, I believe. And now he swings with the hammer, which again is absolutely safe for us. I decide to block two here because I saw the pummel, right? But in hindsight, if I didn't see the pummel, I would also probably block two here if I have enough practice with the deck. Because right now we don't need that many extra resources to swing with our two auras, and the best thing I could have done was eventually extend with an angel attack at the end, or place a third aura. However, we have one card in soul, and as I said, we want to keep one card in hand to cycle the Arclight. So this is why blocking 6 here is correct. We simply don't have enough sinks to use our money on, which is insane, just saying that. So I do the most obvious thing here. I'm gonna swing with auras, and I'm gonna enable again our library. As I said, this is top priority. It's absolutely more worth it to have active library than to place cards in arsenal, I feel, personally. Oof. I've been talking for a while. um, so here I'm thinking again mostly if I should swing with Aura or with an Angel, but then I realize that I have only one card in Soul, so Aura is the way to go. He does some blocks, then I set up Shimmering, which again, anyone who has played this match before, they know this is a win con and it needs to go. Luckily for me, I draw Arclight Sentinel. Now I have the opportunity to actually slam it right now because of the Seismic Surge. I decide to not do so and just see if he has something like Crippling Crush. For me, he does not have, he has Command and Conquer, which is great to see because we don't even have an arsenal. We don't care about him destroying it. The worst thing he can put out here is a pummel, and if he pummels us, I'm simply gonna discard the blue herald and then 6 yellow pitch for the arclight, enable library, time walk him for one more turn, and then go into our next turn with 5 card hand and 3 hours on the board. So that's exactly the type of scenarios we want to be in. So he here swings with this. The attack is only for 5 because of my because of my uh, because of my aura. I take 1 damage, and at this point he gives up because he probably realizes that this is not a point you can return from in this match. I wanted to actually chat with him, make sure that why he left. Maybe his mom shut down the PC, I don't know. But even if he didn't, I don't believe that he has any outs here. I have 3 auras on board, a 5-card hand, and obviously a sentinel as well. So this was just slight glimpse of what the deck is and the type of decisions I'm going through as I'm playing. If this is interesting for you, I'll probably record a few other games, and if it's helpful and useful to people to see the motions you go through with this deck, then I'll keep on doing that. Obviously, zero editing to be expected now and for the foreseeable future. So take care, people. Hope this was useful to you.